Hello and a very warm welcome to another of my video podcasts. The most observant of you will think, oh, she's in a different room. She is. She's in a very different room. In fact, in a very different house. I moved house since the last time I was speaking to you. And this is the first time I've done anything like this in this new room. So let's hope it's all going to work okay. Anyway, today I want to talk about something that is not specific to positive aging, my usual topic. It's really for people of all ages. And it came to me today because I had a meeting earlier on Zoom with someone who does a lot of executive coaching. And she was talking about techniques for resolution within workplace situations where the atmosphere is a bit hostile. And something she described, I thought, oh, I used to do that so much, or something very similar, in my years in relationship therapy. And it occurred to me that it could be quite useful to do it today. I call it the 15-minute Face Up to It challenge. And it's useful principally, I would say, in a romantic relationship situation, but equally it can help to resolve issues within families, in the workplace, amongst friends, and even on things like maybe the parish council or the city council. It's just a way of making sure that everybody has their say, and everybody knows they're going to have their say, and everybody listens to everybody else. So let's look at it perhaps in the context of a romantic relationship. Very often when I've seen people at war within the relationship, one partner will say, we never talk about anything. And the other partner will say, we never stop talking over and over all our problems. Now, clearly they can't both be right, but they both feel right, which is important. They both feel that what they are saying to me is the absolute truth. And I suppose in most relationships, one person is better equipped, maybe verbally, or more inclined to talk than the other, might be a bit more articulate or more confident with words, and the other person maybe resolves things in different ways. Now, I think it's very important in these conflicting situations to recognise there's no right way of doing things. But I suppose the thing is we're all a bit idiosyncratic, and we tend to process our difficulties in a way that suits us, but it doesn't always suit the other person. So in a situation where one person says, we need to talk, and this is usually the person who quite likes talking and is quite articulate, and the other person feels that we need to talk, are probably the four scariest words in the English language. And this person would far sooner say, let's not, disappear out to the shed or to the pub. Now, that sounds as if I'm stereotyping people by implying behaviour that sounds a bit male, perhaps. I think certainly in a male-female relationship, it is more common that the woman wants to talk and the man doesn't. Not always, but it is more common. In gay relationships, obviously, you don't know which person feels more keen on talking. Sometimes you get couples that are both very keen on talking, that's fine, but then they don't tend to need this challenge because they're good at it. So what you do is this. It's quite simple. Suppose there's just two of you in this equation. You toss a coin, decide who's going to go first. So one person gets 5 minutes uninterrupted to say exactly what he or she wants to discuss. The other person commits to listening actively, not, being passively angry and putting up with it and sighing, but actually leaning forward, engaging with it, and being attentive. At the end of 5 minutes, the first person has to shut up. And then the second person gets 5 minutes, and the first person must now listen carefully and attentively and engage with it. No interruption, that's the other thing. And I think if you can have a rule where nobody actually uses bad language, that's probably quite good as well. And then you have 5 minutes at the end of that for interactive discussion. Now, for the people who feel if we get into a long conversation, if we discuss things, it's going to ruin the entire evening, even they can feel I can put aside 15 minutes. And for the people that would be quite happy chatting all evening, at least 15 minutes is better than nothing. So sometimes a couple actually at the end of 15 minutes will say, well, we have made good ground today. Let's agree that we'll do another 15 minutes, but never let it go on for longer than 30 minutes. Just in a way, you know, most things can be said in 30 minutes. In fact, most things can be said in 15 minutes. And I think it's by far the best thing, especially the first time you try it, to stick to the 15 minutes and at the end of it go, well, I think we've actually listened, and I think we've said things, and I think it's been useful. We could do it again tomorrow or whatever, but now let's go and watch the telly or whatever. So that's it. Your 15-minute face up to it challenge. It often will break the deadlock in situations and help people just begin to open them out and begin to discuss them in a respectful way, I think is the best way of putting it. A respectful way that allows both of you to have your say without interruption. I hope you might find it useful. Let me know.